This is an example of a grammar-focused PPP lesson plan. As we have seen, PPP is a commonly used lesson structure to teach systems, vocabulary or grammar. The PPP method is a straightforward lesson structure which allows clear presentation of language, controlled focus, and finally, freer practice of the target language. The aim of this lesson is for the students to use comparative adjectives, most likely for the first time, although it is possible that some students may have come across this grammar before. Comparative language is a key grammar point taught at lower levels, but it is also used at more advanced levels too. The lesson is 60 minutes long, and is planned for between 3 and 12 learners. However, if the lesson were to be done in the online classroom, this would most likely be a much smaller group, with between 3 to 6 learners. A typical PPP lesson plan starts with a lead-in or warmer. The example lead-in uses realia to engage learners in the topic. The teacher shows the students examples of objects. Firstly, this sets the topic for the lesson, comparing objects, and it also provides a visual element through the use of realia. These realia can be prepared by the teacher beforehand. This stage also uses elicitation to activate previous vocabulary of adjectives, small, big, and so on, which will be used in the next stage. In the presentation stage, language is presented to the learners. The teacher uses concept-checking questions to check the idea of comparing. This activates students' previous knowledge of the topic, and also gives them an opportunity to think about the grammar for themselves. The table on the board, or interactive board, provides a clear visual for the learners, and helps separate the different rules of the grammar. It also provides the students with the key elements of the grammar in note form, which they can copy or save for themselves. Notice that the table also uses different colors. This is a simple point, but it makes the teacher's board work much clearer for the learners. With the interactive whiteboard, this is even easier to do. Take advantage of the different colors, fonts, and styles you can use to make your board work even more presentable. Remember that you can save these notes on most programs, so the learners can be sent a copy after the class to revise from. In the practice stage of a PPP lesson, the learners practice the grammar in a controlled activity. This lesson continues to use vocabulary that the students have studied before and have learned, such as transport, food, sport, and so on. The learners are also provided with a list of common adjectives that they can use in their sentences. This activity enables the learners to practice the grammar in a controlled way because a limited set of ideas are given to them, and they simply need to use the correct comparative form. Changing the topic and providing new words enables them to repeat this task until they have perfected the grammar. In the production stage, the focus is on fluency. This example lesson uses a similar idea to the practice stage, but takes it a step further. The prompts are removed, and the students must come up with their own structures and ideas. The learners have more freedom to experiment with the language. Doing the activity in groups of 3 or 4 allows them to have a more in-depth conversation. The error correction element at the end of the production stage is very important. Correction should be kept until the end, but it is important to provide it, so that learners have the opportunity to correct their mistakes and learn. Again, the teacher can present these errors with different colors on the board, or interactive board, for the learners to correct. The homework task is an opportunity for the students to practice the grammar in written form. Written tasks make good homework activities as they take a long time to complete in class. This is especially true for online classes where longer periods of writing can create too much silence in the lesson. The homework task involves the learners using comparatives to write adverts, a common usage of this grammar. It is a realistic task that students can share with each other at the beginning of the next lesson as a possible warmer.